Welcome to the XFL Simulated on EA Sports, and boy oh boy are we excited. The time has come. The XFL Simulated Championship is here. The 6-4 Los Angeles Wildcats are taking on the 5-5 DC Defenders, and we are ready for what should be an excellent football game on the XFL Simulated. James Larson here as we welcome you to DC. So we had a little stadium flex. We moved to DC even though LA has a better record, mainly because DC's field just looks better. Wanted a good camera look for you guys, and these defenders getting ready to take the field, and boy, excitement is in the air. What a season the defenders had to turn it around. Halfway through the season they were 2-3, won 3 in a row to clinch the playoff spot, and then in the playoffs upset St. Louis 26-3 on the road after dropping both games to them in the season. Meanwhile, the LA Wildcats started the season 4-1. They looked great. Then they dropped to 4-4. Looked like they weren't going to make the playoffs, but then they won out, and then they shocked Houston on the road 24-3 last week. Both of these teams underdogs in the playoffs, yet they both have made it to the championship, and we are just so excited to get the show on the road. Man, it's just going to be a great game. Josh Johnson, Cardell Jones, two similar quarterbacks. They have very similar stats, actually, which we'll look at in a little bit. But man, the excitement is in the air. This DC home crowd is raring to go. Their defenders have made it to the championship. And the Wildcats, their fans are raring to go as well. I mean, this is just going to be a great game, and we cannot wait to get into it here on the XFL Simulated. The championship getting ready to get underway. Ty Raza kicks it off. Larry Rose back to receive for the Wildcats, and he will take it out of the end zone. He's got a little bit of room to run, and he'll bring it up to the 28. So good starting field position here for the Wildcats to start. And man, here comes Josh Johnson in this Wildcat offense. It's been an interesting year for Johnson. Started the season really good, then he really stumbled. But over the last couple weeks, he's really put it back together. On the year so far, he's got 2,264 yards, 63% completion percentage. He's thrown 16 touchdowns, but he has thrown 10 interceptions, and he fumbled the ball away a few times as well. Critical here, he cannot turn over the football. Last week, he threw that interception, but then after that, he was very good with the football. That's why they beat Houston. Today, he has got to be on point with his throws. He cannot afford to turn over the football today. This DC defense is nasty. We'll see. First, XFL play. Let's see what happens. 1st and 10 from the 28. Johnson will throw. Blitz coming, and he's going to go down. Taken down on the cornerback, blitz by Elijah Campbell. And this DC defense opens up with a blitz, and it pays off and pushes him back to the 22. How about that play from Campbell? Campbell has been having an excellent year. Actually, he had a pick 6 last week to ice the game against St. Louis, and he opens up the game here with a blitz. How about that play from Campbell? I love it. I love that play call. Aggressive on first down. Honestly, I do love the play call by the Wildcats to throw on first down here. Just didn't pay off. I guess weren't expecting a blitz from DC on first down. The defender's defense gets to him. Big 2nd and 17 coming up already for these Wildcats. We'll see how Josh Johnson responds. Winston Moss, he's done a great job coaching this team and getting them to the championship. See if he can close out the season. Johnson to throw again. Another blitz from DC. Goes to the outside. That's caught. Nelson Spruce. Spruce has been one of his favorite targets on the season. In fact, Spruce had 97 yards last week and a touchdown. On the season, he's got almost 500 yards and 4 touchdowns. This guy can ball. 3rd and 11. Big 3rd down already for the Wildcats. Can Josh Johnson get his squad the first down? Johnson off play action. Going across the middle, and that is intercepted! Picked off by DC. That's Raheem Moore coming up with the interception. And what did we talk about this game? Johnson cannot afford to turn over the football. He turns it over on the first drive. How about Raheem Moore getting in there? And honestly, Johnson, he's got to throw that ball away. He tried to force it in there into coverage, and Raheem Moore takes advantage of it. Not the way LA wanted to start. How about the catch by Raheem Moore in coverage on Trey McBride, who is honestly probably the best receiver on that LA squad. He's got 6 touchdowns on the season. But what a play by DC, and out comes their offense. So we're going to get a look at Cardell Jones, who has also had an up and down year. I mean, he's just been one of those guys that's been inconsistent. He's thrown for 2,315 yards. He's thrown 14 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. He's only got 59.8% completion rate. He's got to up that up in this game. He's got to stop those errant throws. Last week, though, he did a good job. He played a good game, and that's why DC won 26-3. They want to win here. They've got to do that again. Great start for DC. First and 10 now from LA's 44. Jones to throw. He's got time to the sidelines. That's complete. DeAndre Thompkins has a gain of about 4. DeAndre Thompkins is leading the league right now in receiving yards. He has 728 along with 4 touchdowns. He's been absolutely incredible. Second and 6 now from the 40. If you're DC, you've got to make sure you at least get 3 points out of this. You cannot afford to go backwards here and punt. This offense has got to be aggressive. They've got to push the ball down the field. That's when Jones plays the best. Second and 6. And Pumphrey goes nowhere. What did I say about going backwards? That's a loss of 4. How about the tackle by Ahmad Dixon coming in there? Third and 10 coming up from the 44. Dixon comes in on a safety blitz, and it pays off. To try to get Pumphrey there on the draw doesn't pay off. Pumphrey, he is leading the league right now in rushing yards with 837 along with 3 touchdowns, but that's not a good start. The last few weeks, he has honestly struggled quite a bit at the running back position. They've got to find a way to get him some more production. Third and 10 now from the 44. Jones will throw. LA brings a blitz across the middle. Wide open man. First down. Big completion to his tight end, Kari Lee. Down to LA's 32, and that's exactly what the defenders needed to keep this drive alive. On third and 10 after going backwards, this is the type of Cardale Jones that we need to see more often. How about that throw on the money? Kari Lee is an excellent tight end. He's been a really solid target all year for DC. And how about the conversion to bring up first and 10 from the Wildcats 32? First and 10. Pep Hamilton, let's see what he decides to call. First down. They go back to Pumphrey, and he's got some room to run. Pumphrey picks up about 6. Give him 5 or 6. Second and 5 coming up. Those are the types of runs that DC needs. Nice gains of 5-6 yards on first down. That really helps Jones to open up throwing the football. And again, Pumphrey, definitely the best back in this league with the production he's seen. He's got to be productive today, though. Second and 5 from the 26. They go back to Pumphrey, and this time he'll be swamped. Excellent tackling by LA. Maybe gains a yard. Still at about the 26-yard line. Another big third down here. They're at least in field goal range as long as Cardale Jones doesn't take like a 15-yard sack, which I could see happening considering some of the crazy sacks we've seen. But honestly, right here, if I'm DC, I'm going to go with a nice little quick slant to DeAndre Thompkins or Eli Rogers there at the top of your route. Third and 4. Jones to throw. And he's going to go to the outside. That's caught Lee, but does he get to the sticks? Lee will fight, and he's got them a first down. That is unbelievable. How about Kari Lee? He should have been stopped a yard or 2 short of that first down, but he fights and gets there. Excellently done. It's a nice... Jones just throws it a little bit too far out. Lee not only goes up and makes a great catch, but then is able to break through some tacklers. I mean, Jack Tocho is an excellent tackler, along with Jalen Dunlap, and he breaks both of those guys to at least get to the first down. Big pickup again for DC. They are rolling right now. First and 10 from the 21. Jones to throw again. Heavy pressure. Gets rid of it. That's incomplete. Good defense. That's Jones' first incompletion. He went 3 for 3, which is honestly pretty surprising. He usually opens up games looking pretty inaccurate, but today he's looked pretty good so far on this short drive. Second and 10 coming up. They have ran a lot of plays, not gained much yardage. Got to find a way to push the ball down the field and get some more yards here. Getting close to the red zone. Jones on second and 10. This is a shot, and he's got a man wide open. That's Rashad Ross, and they're going to get another few yards added on. Rashad Ross, he's been an excellent target as well for DC. And how about the throw? How about the route from Ross here? And they're all the way down to 2 and in business early. Rashad Ross, 27 catches, 511 yards, and 4 touchdowns on the season. He's been a part of a couple of those massive shots down the field throughout the last half of the season. He's just a guy that finds a way to get open. Last week, he only had 1 catch for 16 yards. He already got 16 on that one, and I expect to see a lot more of him today. First and goal. Interesting formation here. And they're going to try to screen. That's caught and goes nowhere. Ross goes backwards, and that's a loss of 4. I really don't like those screens. Tocho was able to come in unblocked, and that does not pay off for DC. Excellent play, though, by LA's defense to try to push him backwards here. I mean, they are up against it right now to begin with. Not only with the interception, but a couple of these plays that DC's put together. That's a huge play from Jack Tocho. See if they can continue to push DC backwards, or at least keep them out of the end zone. Big 2nd and goal coming up. And if you're DC, you gotta throw the football. Down here in the red zone, you gotta let Jones just find his targets in the end zone. Hopkins in motion, and they're gonna give it to Pumphrey. Spins away, but he's gonna go backwards again. That's a loss of 2. I do not like the play call here from DC. Deep in the red zone, you're trying to open up with points. 3rd and goal now from the 8. Got all the way down to the 2, and now you've had 2 plays for -6 yards. This is what DC has struggled with. They struggled to punch in the ball. Back in Week 9 against New York, they got inside the red zone 4 times and only came away with 3 field goals. 3rd and goal here. After this long drive that started in LA territory, they've got to find a way to get it to the end zone. Jones to throw. He's got time. He's going to go to the end zone. He's got a man wide open, but it's out of bounds. DeAndre Thompkins cannot get his feet in bounds, and DC, after all of that, is going to have to settle for 3 to start this game. It's honestly disappointing. Thompkins, he's open. Yeah, that foot just goes out of bounds. So DC going to settle for 3. Honestly, it's a great defensive stop by LA, who opened up this game pretty terribly. Ty Raza on for the first points of the XFL Simulator Championship. Getting knocked through the 25-yarder. The kick is up, and it's right through, and DC has a 3-0 lead to start this game. I mean, yeah, you would have wanted 7, but still, 3 is a good way to start this game, especially considering LA got the ball first. You're already up 3-0. This DC defense is looking really solid. We'll see if they can keep it up. Raza puts it right through, and LA is going to have to find some way to come up with a response. They've been in games where they've been down before, and they've come back. But against DC, when these teams played back in Week 3, LA won that game 17-14. It was a defensive slugfest. So it'll be interesting to see if this game goes more of a defensive route, which right now it's definitely kind of given that look, or if these offenses will start picking it up. But 3-0 DC, great drive, and now Ty Raza will get ready to kick it away. Sends it away, going back to LA. Larry Rose to receive, and he will take it out of the end zone. And again, decent room to run. He'll take it up to the 22. So, this LA offense going to start now inside the 25. Josh Johnson and his offense coming back onto the field. And not a good start for Johnson. Threw that interception on that first drive. Led to some points from DC. He's got to do a better job. And again, literally the entire game is going to basically balance on whether or not Johnson continues to turn over the football or not. Last week, he threw the pick, but then he came back and threw 3 touchdowns, and LA won that game. Today, we're going to see what happens. LA has much bigger chance to win when Johnson doesn't turn over the ball. Elijah Hood finds a way to escape out of the backfield, and a big gain for Elijah Hood going down the sidelines. Is anyone going to catch him? DC finally catches up, but not before he gets to the defender's 40. How about that run from Elijah Hood? Hood is also one of the best backs in the league. Right now in second place with 736 yards. He's only scored 1 touchdown, which he got back in Week 9. But how about this run? Breaking to the outside, getting away from the defenders, creating space, and it's a great job blocking as well by that offensive line. Pick up of 39, that's exactly what LA needed to respond. And the crazy thing is, even though DC has really outplayed them this first quarter, just one big play like that and LA can have a 7-3 lead. 1st and 10 now from the 40. Johnson to throw. To the sidelines. Got a man wide open. That's complete. Trey McBride down to the 24. LA moving the football nicely on this drive so far. 2 plays and they're already inside DC's 25. Trey McBride, again, he's someone that's been electrifying for this LA offense all season long, and I definitely expect to see a bunch of him today. Just a nice route there on Desmond Lawrence. Lawrence, he's a great corner, but going against some of these excellent wide receivers, we'll see how he does. 1st and 10 from the 24. See if Johnson can get his confidence back and start slinging the football downfield. In motion is Barnes. They've got to get this play off. Just gets it off in time, and Hood with another nice hole inside the red zone to the 17. That's a gain of 7, brings up 2nd and 3. So the Wildcats now in business offensively, and they're moving the ball well. I guess that first drive, they shook that off pretty well so far. And again, last week, this LA defense did an excellent job against Houston. They held one of the best offenses to only 3 points. If the Wildcats can do that today against DC, they have a good chance to win. Send Barnes in motion again, and this time they're not going to get the playoff. That's just the stupid stuff that LA has got to find a way to avoid, because now a 2nd and 3 becomes a 2nd and 8, and those sorts of penalties can really just kill or halt offense's momentum. At least they're still well in field goal range, but you want to score a touchdown. You want to come back and shake up DC's defense a little bit here. Remember, this is a DC defense that did not give up a touchdown to St. Louis last week. Really, it's just incredible. They picked off Jordan Tomley twice, and they already got that 1 pick on Johnson today. This defense just creates turnovers week after week. 2nd and 8 now from the 22. Spruce in motion. Johnson to throw. Across the middle, that's caught. That's Spruce. Gets them back to the 17, but it's going to bring up 3rd and 2. Big 3rd down here for Wildcats already. If you're LA, you want to get this 1st down, continue to push the ball down the field, and score a touchdown, take the lead. Settling for 3 would also be relatively disappointing after the way they moved the football on this drive. 3rd and 2. They go to Hood on the ground, and big hole for Elijah Hood. Inside the 10 to the 8. And Elijah Hood is having himself a great game so far. 55 yards on this drive alone. 1st and goal at the 8. That's a big pickup for these Wildcats. Exciting thing is that both these teams are pretty evenly matched. So this really should be a great game. Really, it was interesting to see because Houston and St. Louis are both, I mean, generally speaking, better teams, but they got blown out. This game, both these teams are about equal. 5 and 5, 6 and 4. See what happens. 1st and goal now from the 8. They go back to the ground. Hood getting close to the end zone and just stopped at the 2. But another nice gain, and now we're going to finally get a look at this Wildcats offense. This offensive line has been pretty solid all season long, and again, we've mentioned some of these guys. Elijah Hood, he's been a great running back. Trey McBride, Brandon Barnes has been a solid tight end, although he has had a couple big drops this season. He's got to make sure he doesn't do those today. Nelson Spruce, Jordan Smallwood, who's had an electrifying second half of the season. They've got a lot of weapons. They're a stacked offensive team. 2nd and goal now from the 2 as we near the end of the 1st quarter. And that will bring us to the 2nd quarter. It's the end of 1 in the XFL Simulator Championship. The DC Defenders up 3-0, but LA knocking on the door to take the lead down inside the 5 of 2. Exciting game so far. We've seen offense, we've seen defense. Lots of excitement in the air since these teams last played. 2nd and goal coming up at the 2. Let's see what Winston Moss wants to do offensively. Honestly, I'd like to see Johnson do play action, but I feel like they're going to give it to Hood and just try to smash it in up the middle. And that's what they're going to do, and how about the tackle by Jonathan Celestine, pushing him back to the 6. This DC defense is nasty. They've been on their heels this entire drive, but how about the play by Celestine to read that play entirely, get right through on the blitz, completely unblocked around the edge, and Hood has absolutely nowhere to go. That's exactly what DC's defense needed. And once again, we might have a drive that gets inside the 5 that ends in a field goal. We'll see. 3rd and goal. Can Johnson get his team in the end zone? Sends him out, and they're going to get another delay of game. What is Johnson doing? And that's stupid. That is the 2nd time this drive that Johnson has done that, and it really hurts because now you went from 3rd and goal to 6, which is difficult enough, to 3rd and goal at the 11. Now they've got to go over 10 yards to get to the end zone. With DC's defense, that is going to be tough, no matter how good your receivers are. 3rd and goal from the 11. Can the Defenders' defense step up and make a big stop here to keep this game at least 3-3? interested to see what Winston Moss decides to call here. Sometimes in these situations they do an A-speed draw. Wonder if they do that. In motion is Smallwood. Johnson to throw. He's got time. He's going to go to the end zone. Got a man wide open. That's caught. Touchdown, Los Angeles, and they take the lead. That's the tight end, Brandon Barnes, finding the end zone. The Wildcats up 6-3, and Johnson gets the first touchdown to Barnes of the XFL Simulator Championship, and that is just what you call blown coverage. Barnes is able to break free, get wide open. The linebacker does not pick him up, and that's an excellently designed play by the Wildcats to put them on top. What a drive. Coming back off the interception, they go 78 yards, and it all started with Elijah Hood's 39-yard scamper. Set him up. Nick Novak on for the extra point. The kick is up, and it's good. LA with a 7-3 lead here in the XFL Simulator Championship. What a game so far. This DC defense, you gotta learn from it. I mean, you can't expect DC's defense to not give up anything. I mean, this Los Angeles offense has a lot of weapons, but right now is where DC's offense needs to step up, and they've struggled throughout the season, especially in these sorts of situations. Cardell Jones has not been able to step up. Yes, they're in the championship, but really it's because of their defense. Back in Week 8 when they clinched the playoffs, that was all their defense. Cardell Jones turned over the football twice in that game. Tampa Bay was in a position to win that game so many times, and it was that DC defense that came up with 2 pick sixes to win them that game. They cannot rely on their defense, though, to win a championship, especially against LA's offense. So we'll see what their response is. I do have confidence in Jones. He's been playing better over the last couple of weeks. See if we can do it here. Nick Novak, he'll kick it away. Dion Holloman back to receive in the end zone, and he'll take a knee. So the defender is going to get it at the 25 to start this drive. And again, it's going to be interesting to see what Cardell Jones can do on this drive. Donnell Pumphrey coming out there with his squad. I'd like to see Pumphrey get a little bit more involved. This offensive line has done a really good job over the last, really the entire season, giving Pumphrey some excellent holds to run through. They've got to continue that if they want to win this ball game. He's got to start picking up 6-7 yards, some of those big holes. Haven't seen much of him today. See what Pep Hamilton decides to do here as first down comes up from the 25. Wildcats defense is good. It's going to be tough. On first down, they go to Pumphrey, and he's going to fight his way to the 29. Honestly, that's a pretty good gain there of 4. He should have been mad at the line. Barrels up for 4. Decent gain. 2nd and 6. Coming up for DC, and this is a sort of situation where you want to let Jones do a nice play action. Let him roll out a little bit between DeAndre Tompkins, Eli Rogers, Curry Lee, and Rashad Ross. Somebody should be open. They go back to the ground, and Pumphrey is met right away. Looked like he had a bit of a hole, but it is closed quickly by Will Smith, and now a big 3rd and 5 coming up for the defenders' offense. And it's really interesting to see how fast this momentum seems to have switched. I mean, DC got the pick, they marched down to the 2, and a couple of those bad play calls held them to 3 points, and LA now has a 7-3 lead, and their defense is in a good spot. 3rd and 5, can Jones get him a first down? To throw is Jones. Pressured, gotta get it go, and it's incomplete. Man, they had a screen set up with Pumphrey, and it just does not go. That's the type of stuff that we've seen Jones do this season. I don't know why that just skipped the replay. But now they have to punt. Hunter Nicewander on the punted away for DC. And again, Jones has struggled with those inerrant throws throughout the year. He's got to not let that happen again today. Trey McBride to receive, and bam, what a hit. Knocked down at the 18, so LA is going to have a lot of work to do to score again. Josh Johnson coming back out onto the field, opened up with a couple bad throws and the interception. Since then, I mean, that last drive he looked great. Found Brandon Barnes on a long 3rd and goal. He's gotta clean up some of those penalties. I mean, he had 2 delay of games on the last drive. He still got the touchdown, but still cannot afford to do that. 1st and 10 coming up from the 18. Elijah Hood having a great game, and he's going to be a key to LA getting a win here if he can continue producing the way he's been running. 1st and 10 from the 18. They go to Hood. And this time, he does pick up a few yards, but A.J. Tarpley was in there to make a nice tackle. 2nd and 6 coming up Still though, he picked up 4. It's just hard running from Hood there, and I love it. Tarpley had him pretty much at the line of scrimmage, and he's able to fight for a gain of about 3 or 4. 2nd and 6 from the 22. Johnson right now just looking like he's in control of this game, and that's the type of Josh Johnson you want to see. Low snap, they give it to Hood. Bouncing off tacklers, and that's a face mask on Tarpley. And that hurts. That'll push him all the way up to the 40, and a 3rd and 3 now turns into a 1st and 10. So that's the type of stuff that DC's defense really needs to try to avoid in this game. And again, last week they played so efficiently against St. Louis and opened up this game that looked great, but right now, they just definitely, LA is doing something offensively that has put these guys in not the best situation, and we're down under 7 minutes now here in the first half. 7-3 LA lead. If they score another touchdown here, DC's going to be up against it a little bit. Johnson gives it back to Hood, and he's going to juke the wrong way. Anthony Johnson gets a tackle. Hood had a lot of room to run, and he basically just ran right into Johnson. He did not have to do that. 2nd and 10 now from the 40 coming up, and that's honestly the type of fluky play that DC needed pretty badly. See if this DC defense can step up and make a play. Try to get this team back, some momentum back. Hood again on the ground, and he is eaten up alive. That line, Tracy Sprinkle, Anthony Johnson, and also I saw the safety in there as well, Raheem Moore, who had the interception earlier to start off the game. Big 3rd and 9. This is a massive 3rd down. If LA picks this up and moves it into DC territory, they're definitely going to start taking more momentum. If DC can get this stop, that would really just be huge. 3rd and 9. Johnson to throw. He's got time. He's got to check it down. That's caught by Barnes, but he's going to go nowhere. Excellent tackle. That's Elijah Campbell, who had an excellent sack to start off this game, and DC gets the stop that they needed. And really just a great job. Look at the way that they're able to cover those receivers so fast that Johnson has to get rid of the ball to Barnes, and Campbell covers that up really fast. Elijah Campbell, a couple big plays already in this game. 4th and 6, and LA's gonna have to punt. Besides that face mask penalty, DC's defense did a really heck of a job on that drive. 4th and 6, and change Puka on to punt it away for the first time for LA. Rashad Ross back to receive, but this punt is going to go too far into the end zone. DC gets to the 20. So now if you're the defenders, you've got to like where you are. You've got plenty of time. 4:49 from your own 20. You really can march down, score, run out the clock, and then get it for the second half. So let's see what Pep Hamilton does here offensively. They've got to get Cardell Jones into a rhythm. Even on their first drive when they scored the field goal, they did not have a lot of offensive rhythm. They made a couple nice throws, but then once they got in that red zone, they really struggled. See what they can do to improve on that here on this drive. Last drive went nowhere. 1st and 10 from the 20. Gives it to Pumphrey, and he goes nowhere again. This defense is eating him up. That's Quentin Gauze. 2nd and 10 now from the 20. DC's got to find some way to get this running game going, or they've just got to let Jones throw the football. They cannot wait to let Jones throw the ball until 3rd down, because when he doesn't throw until 3rd down, he's a lot less accurate. 2nd and 10. Jones will throw. He's got time. Across the middle, man wide open, that's complete. Rashad Ross, 1st down to the 36. And those are the sorts of plays that DC has got to continue putting together. Just an excellently executed play. Ross just a nice in route. And Jones with a throw on the money. Cannot ask more of your offense. Rashad Ross, this guy is speedy. First and 10 coming up from the 36. Jones off play action. Going deep in the sidelines. That is knocked up and intercepted. Ahmad Dixon gets it off the deflection. He was looking for Eli Rogers, but the Wildcat defense comes up with a pick. And gotta be honest, that's not necessarily Jones' fault. He throws a good pass. Rogers just can't hang on with the contact, and it gets deflected up into the air. Look at this. It's a nice throw. Rogers has it, but it's just knocked away. And Dixon, how about the concentration from Dixon? That's Mike Stevens able to get a hand in there to knock this ball away and up into the air. Dixon comes up with a huge pick, and now LA's offense with great field position and plenty of time to score before half. That's a tough one for DC. They were finally starting to gain some momentum back. Jones takes a shot downfield, and it backfires. 1st and 10 coming up for the Wildcats from the 34. So now both quarterbacks have turned it over. And really, it's just the way that we've seen these quarterbacks play the entire season. Either they start off with a turnover and then start playing well, or they're playing well and then they throw an interception. 1st and 10 now from the 34. Under 4 minutes to play. Elijah Hood. Nice hole for Hood. Big gain to the 39. He's got 70 yards on 10 carries. He's seen a lot of production in this first half. 2nd and 4 coming up. And again, if Hood continues to run like that, LA is going to win this game. We look at Donnell Pumphrey. He only has 5 yards on 7 carries compared to 70 yards on 10 carries from Hood. I mean, you can't win if you're DC and playing like that. 2nd and 4. Off play action. Johnson rolling out. Going deep and misses his man. He had Brandon Barnes wide open, and that throw gets away from him. 3rd and 4. And again, it's interesting the way how similar Johnson and Jones are sometimes with those inerrant throws. Just missed a wide open man. Would have been the first down. Another big 3rd down. Can the Wildcats pick it up? Johnson to throw. All sorts of time across the middle. Knocked away and incomplete. How about the defense? That's Jameer Thurman in there, breaking that up. And again, this DC defense shuts down LA. And really, you gotta give the defenders' defense credit. They lost momentum, not once, but twice. That's just a great hit by Thurman to jar that ball loose. And LA is gonna have to punt again, leaving DC with still plenty of time to score before halftime. Shane Jabruga on to punt it for the 2nd time in the last few minutes. It's a slow punt, and he just gets it away. That was scary. Do they get the bounce? No. Goes to the end zone, so DC now with 2:41 to play, get it from their own 20. So this offense coming out. Jones started the game decent, but right now, those are not the greatest stats. 6 for 10, 49 yards, and a pick. He's got to up the ante a little bit. I give him credit. He was pushing the ball down the field. That pick, not necessarily his fault, but he's got to push the ball down the field with throws that he's confident are going to be completions. They cannot afford to turn it over again. Both these quarterbacks with the pick. See how Jones bounces back. Johnson bounced back and threw a touchdown. See if Jones can do the same. And a slow give to Pumphrey that goes nowhere. Pumphrey, I don't know, he's just not hitting the holes. I mean, he had plenty of room to run there, and he tried to bounce it to the outside. I do not understand what he's seeing, but it's not working. Offensively, DC's got to move away from running the ball on 1st down. We're already close to a 2-minute warning here. I don't know if they're going to get this playoff. They will. Quick screen to Eli Rogers. What the crap? That is the worst running I've seen ever from a receiver. He literally ran the wrong way. What in the world is he doing? Now 3rd and 14 from the 16, and DC, with under 2 minutes to play, is going to hand LA the ball right back. And if DC's offense continues to play like this, LA definitely deserves to win this game. 3rd and 14. Can Jones pick him? And they're going to go to the ground. Pumphrey picks up about 7 or 8, but doesn't matter. They have to punt, and really just disappointing from DC. Your defense gets you 2 big stops, you turn over the football, and then you move backwards. I mean, it's terrible. Hunter Nicewander, slow to get it away, and that one was almost blocked. My goodness. Trey McBride, fair catch at the 27. So LA, they only have 1 timeout, but still plenty of time. 1:47. It's only a matter of time before this DC defense breaks down. I mean, considering the amount of weapons that they have to cover between Nelson Spruce, Trey McBride, Jordan Smallwood, Brandon Barnes, and Johnson has a heck of an arm. I mean, it's amazing this game is only 7-3. See if this defense can step up and make another stop, but honestly, I like the looks of LA's offense getting another score before half here. I really think they're going to be able to push the ball down the field. Defensively, they've been playing a great game. Johnson to throw. Going deep down the field, he's got a man wide open, and it's knocked away. Unbelievable. Jordan Smallwood was wide open. Johnson, I think he could have put a bit more zip on that ball. Because Smallwood, by the time he got his hands on it, he was getting hit. Still, he should have, I mean, that was tough because he definitely could have held on to it, but also Johnson could have given him a better throw. 2nd and 10, a big missed opportunity for LA. To throw again is Johnson. Plenty of time, and now pressured, and he's going to go down for the 2nd time today. Big sack from that DC defense. That'll push him back again. This DC defense is playing incredible. I mean, just outstanding. I believe that was Johnson who got in there on that sack. 3rd and 20. And they're just going to let Hood take it on the ground. AJ Tarpley and Elijah Qualls nowhere to go. And now DC uses timeout. So they're fresh out of timeouts, but they've got a little bit of time to score before half. Really, again, this game very similar to what we saw in Week 3. Both of these defenses are making it very tough on the offenses to get going. Chapuka will punt it away. Ross back to receive. And what a boomer. That's a heck of a punt. And Ross only able to take it out to the 22, so DC has a lot of ground to cover with hardly any time. And no timeouts. And this DC offense, they really struggled, and this running game has not been able to get going, which is frustrating as an announcer to watch Pep Hamilton continue to go to the run game when it's not working. If it's not working, let Jones throw the football on 1st down, because that'll allow some more openings for Donnell Pumphrey later on. You've got to learn that there's a balance there. 1st and 10 now from the 22. I highly doubt they're going to go to the run game, especially if they want to try to score before half. Jones to throw. Lots of time. Deep down in the field, he's got a man, and it's hauled in. Big completion there to the 36, and he gets out of bounds. I like it. That's exactly what they need to do. That's Rashad Ross, his 4th catch. He's got 42 yards on the day. And how about this throw from Jones? It's just a perfect throw, and Ross able to get his feet down. Excellently done, and if DC can just put together a few more plays like that, they can at least get a field goal before half, which would be big. I mean, going down 7-6 and getting the ball with some momentum in the 2nd half. See what DC decides to do. 1st and 10 now from the 36. Still a minute 20 to go. Jones to throw. Lots of time. He's got to get rid of it now. He's got to let it go. What is he doing? Trevon Sanders got some all the way back to the 24. And that's just something that Jones has struggled with here and there in this season. I mean, I do not understand why he does not just get rid of that football. He's got all the time in the world, and he just moves backwards. He's not even trying to evade the sack. It is frustrating with these Madden simulations. These quarterbacks are really, really stupid sometimes. And it's very unrealistic. Madden, step up your freaking game. Back to the game. 2nd and 23 now, under a minute, and any chances of DC scoring, I think, are practically erased after that. Jones to throw. Lots of time. He's going to go deep down the field. And how in the world? It's caught! DeAndre Thompkins down at the 18. That is absolutely ridiculous. In double coverage, Thompkins goes up and gets it. Jones held up with a prayer, and I don't know how Thompkins is able to track this. Going up against 2 guys, and he literally one-hands it. Look at that, Odell Beckham. Or maybe it's not a... Yeah, it is. He basically caught that with one hand. Gets by Mike Stevens, and now DC at the 18 with plenty of time, no timeout, so they cannot be stupid with time management here. I've seen these Madden simulations do before, where they don't get any points in this situation. Gotta continue to push it down the field. Don't run the ball. Jones to throw. Across the middle, that's caught. Ross. It's the 9. They're going to have to get up and run another quick play. Time is running. They're not going to get another playoff. What are they doing? Down at the 9. They're trying to run a play. They should just kick a field goal. Jones to throw. Intercepted! Picked off by LA Mike Stevens. He has a chance to go all the way. He's going to get the angle, and he will, unless Jones catches. Cardale Jones tracks him down. What a wild play. And that's how we're going to go to halftime. That's ridiculous. Mike Stevens could not outrun Cardale Jones. That's insane. LA looks like they're going to take a 14-3 lead there going into half, but it's going to say 7-3. Really disappointing, though. Jones, terrible throw. I don't know what he was thinking, but how about the hustle to get down there? We'll be back in just a minute after this. Welcome back to DC. The XFL Simulated Championship is underway. Heading into the second half, and it's been a good one. It's been a very defensive-filled game. We saw DC open up with the interception on Johnson. Then they get stopped. They have to kick a field goal. Then LA marches it down. Nice drive, score a touchdown. Since then, we've seen almost nothing offensively from either team. DeAndre Thompkins made that insane catch, set them up in a great position to try to score, and then Jones throws another interception. Mike Stevens picked him off. Should have had a pick six, but then gets tackled by Cardale Jones, who chased him down. So, honestly, that could be a game-saving tackle by Jones. It's still 7-3, and DC is going to get the ball, as Nick Novak will send it away. Been a very interesting game so far. Deion Holloman on the return. And he'll bring it up past the 25 to the 27, so good starting field position here. Jones has turned over the football twice. He's got to do better. Look at these stats here. 10 for 15, 127 yards, but 2 interceptions, and they've been really interceptions that have hurt them quite a bit. Killed 2 drives that were looking pretty good, especially that last one. I don't know why they kept the offense out there. I wish I could just do something with this Madden simulation, just be like, kick a field goal. 1st and 10 now from the 27. See what DC does here. Off play action, Jones, all sorts of time. Across the middle, misses his man. Not exactly the way DC would want to start this game. I mean, the second half. 2nd and 10 coming up now from the 27. This LA defense has done one heck of a job. DC only has 3 points. But their offense has struggled, which is why DC is still in this game. And if you're Pep Hamilton, you've got to find a way to get your offense needs to score a touchdown. There's no other way around it right now. 2nd and 10. Jones, deep shot. Got a man that's caught. 1st down to the 40. Rashad Ross again. Ross is having himself a day. Nice throw. Let's see if that can get DC into a rhythm here offensively. Again, if they can just put together a drive and score some points, that would be huge. 1st and 10 now from the 40. Pretty crazy that this game is still 7-3. Jones gives it to Donnell Pumphrey, makes a move, and breaks a tackle up to the 47. Pumphrey, he's only got 20 yards on 10 carries, but he's had a couple decent ones. See if we can start doing more of that. 2nd and 3 now from the 47. See what the play call is here. I'd like to see play action. And they're just going to throw it. Jones checks it outside. That's caught. Awfully close to a first, but I don't think he got it. He did not. 3rd and inches coming up for DC. A huge 3rd down here. Tompkins just couldn't get to the sticks. Their midfielder at the 50. You've got to just push this and get it first. This has been a good drive. Cannot afford to let LA get the ball back. I mean, this is literally millimeters. Jones will throw. Got a man that's complete. Kari Lee to the 38, and DC gets a nice gain on 3rd down. I am surprised they decided to throw it, but it pays off, and Lee has his third catch of the day. And how about DC's offense pushing the ball back down the field? Excellent drive to start the second half so far. They're at the 38. So something that I've seen quite a bit happen in these games, they get inside the 40, get close to field goal range, and then the quarterbacks will hold on to the ball for like 20 seconds and take a sack. They cannot let that happen here. Jones has got to continue releasing the ball quickly and at least let them get in the field goal range. You just can't take a sack here, and I know, now that I said it, he's going to get sacked. 1st and 10. Big blitz. Just gets rid of it. That's caught out of the backfield. Not really anywhere to go there for Pumphrey. At least Jones was able to get rid of it. 2nd and 9 now from the 37. DeAndre Tompkins had himself a great game. I know he didn't catch that, but he's going to be close. He's getting close to 800 yards on the season. One more catch of about 10 yards, and he'll pass 800. 2nd and 9 now from the 37. Jones gives it to Pumphrey. Bounces off one guy, but again, met right at that line of scrimmage. And now a big 3rd and 9 coming up for DC. They've got to find a way to convert this. I mean, they've been moving the ball well in this drive, and a couple others. Jones cannot afford to turn over the football or take a sack here because they're still within range for Ty Raza to kick a field goal. Raza hit a 55-yarder earlier in the season. 3rd and 9. Jones to throw. Lots of time. He's got to get rid of it. He will. Deep down the field. Did he catch that? How in the world? That's Eli Rogers down to 6. That's a gain of about 30. Sets up a 1st and goal. He had Ahmad Dixon all over him. I don't know how he came down with that one. Ridiculous catch by Eli Rogers, and it sets up DC inside the red zone. Inside the 10 at the 6. I wish we would have gotten another look at that. 1st and goal. DC was here 3 times and only have 3 points. They've got to find a way to score a touchdown on this one. In motion, he's got to call this play. It's going to be a delay of game. Wow. And that is just the stupidity of this offense. Huge play, and now you have a delay of game. Pushes you back 5 yards, pushes you outside of the 10. 1st and goal coming up from the 11. DC, if they keep this sort of playing up, they're not going to find the end zone at all. This is the 3rd time they've been inside the 10. They got down to the 2, were held to a field goal. Got down to the 4, got down to like the 6, and he throws an interception. Now they get down to the 6 again. Get pushed back to the 11 because of a penalty. 1st and goal. See what Pep Hamilton decides to do, but that just kills the drive with those stupid penalties. 1st and goal. They go on the ground. Pumphrey with a big lane. Takes it down to the 4, and that's exactly what DC needed there on 1st and goal. 2nd and goal now from the 4. They've got to find a way to punch it into the end zone. They cannot kick another dinky field goal. 2nd and goal. This has been a very long drive. We're almost halfway through the 3rd quarter. The XFL Championship. This is big. Jones to throw. He's got time. To the end zone. Got a man. And that is caught. Touchdown DC. They take the lead. DeAndre Tompkins with the 4-yard reception. And we have been talking about him all year long. He's leading the league in receiving yards. He's closing in on 800. And that is his 5th touchdown catch of the year. And look at this. I mean, it's just excellently done. He got robbed of a touchdown earlier. Just couldn't get his feet in bounds. But this time, he's able to get in the back of the end zone. And DC takes the lead. Their first touchdown of the day. And it's about time. They've been inside the 10 3 times. Finally get that end zone. Ty Raza on to make it a 10-7 game. It's up and it's good. And DC with a 10-7 lead here at home. Here in the XFL Championship, and now LA is going to have to find a way to respond. Their offense had a great drive there in that 1st quarter, and since then they've been stagnant. DC's defense has done a great job of shutting them down. Wildcats, Winston Moss has got to do something to get Josh Johnson back into a rhythm offensively. Down 10-7 with 5 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Long interlude here. Hopefully it gets done. But look, how about that drive from DC? That was an excellent way to start this second half, and a couple big third down conversions there that were clutch. They were huge. And that's what DC's got to continue to do as an offense. They've struggled on those third downs all year. Got a couple big ones there. And Ty Raza will send it away. Larry Rose back to receive, and he'll take it out of the end zone here, as we are now under 5 minutes in the third quarter. LA had a lead for quite some time, but DC finally takes the lead back, 10-7. And now let's see what Josh Johnson and this offense is made of. Johnson opened up the game throwing an interception, then he marched him right down through a touchdown. Since then, he's not done much. He's missed a couple guys. They have not found a way to get their offense going. I mean, Elijah Hood has had a great game. He's got 10 carries for 70 yards. You've got to find a way to continue to push this ball down the field to get back in this game. 10-7 lead for DC. First and 10 from the 26. Johnson to throw. Got time to the sidelines. That's caught. Jordan Smallwood's first catch of the day. Up to the 39, that's a first down. That's exactly what the Wildcats needed to get themselves into a rhythm. I like the play call. It's a great designed play to get this going. And Smallwood, he's been electrifying the last few weeks. Really, the entire second half of the season and the playoffs. He had that 70-yard bomb last week. See if he can start seeing some action. First and 10. Off-play action. Johnson rolling out. Almost sacked. And how about the catch by Spruce? That is a beautiful throw and catch. Johnson finds Spruce, and it puts them inside DC's 40 at the 38. And now LA is moving the football once again. And look at this. Johnson rolling out. He feels the pressure, and he throws a bullet to Spruce for a big-time first down. And Spruce just extending for that reception. Nelson Spruce is a really, really hard guy to cover. First and 10 coming up from the 38. In motion, and they gotta get this play off, or it's gonna be another delay of game. And are you kidding me? That is the third delay of game on Josh Johnson today, and he's calling these audibles with only a few seconds left on the play clock. He's gotta stop doing that. He's just gotta run with the play. Now, after the nice big completion, they're pushed back 5 yards and first and 15 on the 43. It's stupid errors like that that Johnson's been making this second half of the season, mostly. And it's the reason why they're in a little bit of trouble now here in the XFL Championship. They've worked really hard to get here, and it'll be disappointing for them to lose because of stuff like that. First and 15 from the 43. Johnson gives it to Hood. Hood makes a move, but only picks up about 2. He's got 12 carries for 79 yards. Heck of a day for him. Second and 13 now coming up from the 41. Johnson gives it back to Hood. Bounces to the outside. He's got some room. Picks up 4, and that's going to bring him to DC's 37. Sets up 39. Huge 3rd and 9 here. LA, Nick Novak has not been a very solid kicker. He's missed a lot of field goals, especially those from plus 50. They're not in a position to kick a field goal here. They've got to either pick up a few more yards or ideally get a first down. Johnson cannot afford to throw an incomplete or take a sack. Johnson to throw. DC brings a blitz deep down the field, and that is incomplete. How about that defense? Shamarko Thomas knocks that one away, and it's 4th and 9 now from the 37, and LA in a bit of trouble. Johnson, again, tries to force it into double coverage to Smallwood. It just doesn't work. He threw an interception before, and honestly, he's kind of lucky that one was not picked off as well. So it really will be interesting to see what they decide to do from the 37. Are they going to send out Novak? No. Shane Jabruka going to punt it away from the 37. That is very sad for LA's offense. He'll boot it away. They need to get a good bounce here. And they will. DC pinned at the 6, so they at least are able to get that much out of it. DC pinned at the 6, and Cardale Jones coming back out, and he struggled. He's thrown those 2 interceptions. Couple of them, they really hurt, but he marched him down, got him a touchdown. He's 16 for 22. He's completing a lot of his passes, a lot more than usual. He's got to continue to stay in a rhythm. I mean, if DC can take a 17-7 lead here, they're going to be in really good position to win this championship. First and 10 from their own 6. They give it to Pumphrey, and he's got room to the outside, and now Pumphrey breaking loose. For his first big carry of the day, brings it to the 28, and Pumphrey. His first 10 carries went for less than 20 yards. And there he breaks loose for a gain of about 24. Actually 22, excuse me. How about that run? That's exactly what DC needed. Now they're out of danger, up at the 28, and they are really starting to get some momentum offensively. First and 10 now from the 28. Jones to throw off play action. Pumps it. He's got time. He's got to get rid of it. Now he's going to take off, and he'll maybe get back to the line. That was a messy play. Lucky he did not get sacked. Second and 9 now from the 29. This DC offense, they've got to continue to push the ball down the field. DeAndre Tompkins, Rashad Ross, they've got to continue to get open for Jones so he can push this ball downfield. And they give it to Pumphrey, who's got room to the outside again, makes a move to now Pumphrey. First down and more, breaking tackles and carrying guys to the 50. And Pumphrey, just like that, has 70 yards on the day. That's insane. On his first 8 carries, he had only 5 yards. And now on 14, he's got 70. This running game has finally broken loose, and is the reason why DC is now in a good position here to start pulling away. I mean, look at this run. Pumphrey makes a move. Heck of a move. On Arion Springs. And then just pushes the pile about 5 yards. First and 10 now from the 50, and this DC offense in business, up 10-7. We're under a minute left in the third quarter. Jones, he's going to try a screen that's caught but goes nowhere. Rashad Ross on the catch, but eaten up by LA, and this Wildcats defense has got to find a way to step up and get a stop here. They need it bad. I mean, DC has marched all the way from the 6th. They're offensively in a rhythm, and LA's got to find a way to get them out of that rhythm. Second and 9. They go back to the ground. Pumphrey, big play. That's another first down. DC has been running the football so well this second half. They get down to LA's 40 on that one. And look at this hole. This is what DC was unable to do in that first quarter especially, but now they're finding those open lanes for Pumphrey to burst through, and that's when this DC offense can be the most dangerous. First and 10, and I highly doubt they're going to get this playoff before we head to the fourth quarter. And they will. Pumphrey again. And this time, he's finally taken down behind the line again. That's a good play from LA. Loss of 1. And we have only 1 quarter left in this XFL simulated season. 10-7 lead for the Defenders here in the championship. Can LA get this back? And the interesting thing is how LA, after that terrible start, they controlled most of that first half, but they just could not find a way to score again. They only were up 7-3, and because of that, DC's offense has been able to come alive and take control of this game. And Mike Stevens should have had a pick 6 before half, and he lets Cardale Jones catch up to him. You wonder what would have happened if they took a 14-3 lead before half. Jones to throw, second and 11. LA brings a blitz, checks it down, dangerous throw. That could have been a pick 6 there. Very dangerous throw. Third and 11 coming up from the 41, so DC now in a bit of a pickle offensively because you're definitely a little bit out of Ty Raza's range here for 58-yarder. If they can at least pick up about 8 yards, they can attempt a field goal, but Jones has got to find a way to push this ball down the field. On third and 11, to throw is Jones. Across the middle, man wide open, that's complete, and a first down. Kari Lee He has had a couple clutch receptions in this game, and he has another one there. 1st and 10 now at LA's 26. And DC is just finding a way to get it done here in this championship. Look at this route by Lee, just wide open. The linebacker completely blows the coverage, and Jones is able to find a huge reception there on 3rd and 11, and now 1st and 10 from the 26. DC can breathe. We're in the 4th quarter. They're up by 3 and getting close to the red zone once again. Jones gives it to Pumphrey. Finds a hole, picks up about 2. 2nd and 7 now from the 24. What a turnaround for Pumphrey, and that's really, again, the main reason why DC is now winning this game and starting to pull away. Second and 7 from about the 24. Jones goes back to Pumphrey. Another big hole, and Donnell Pumphrey will bring it inside the 15 to the 11. Pumphrey knocking on the door of a 100-yard game, which is absolutely incredible. Again, his first 8 carries, only 5 yards, and now he's got 94 yards on 18 carries. Look at these holes his offensive line is giving him. He has so much room to run now, and this DC offensive line is dominating LA's. I mean, it's surprising. You've got Boogie Roberts, Roderick Henderson, Sean Oakman. These guys have really penetrated offenses all year long, but right now they're struggling. Jones takes it himself, spins away from 1, and Jones will fight his way down to the 7. DC inside the 10 for the 4th time today. This is the 4th time inside the 10. They've only got 10 points, though. They find the end zone again here. They are really starting to solidify a championship victory. We'll see. 2nd and 6 from the 7. Can the Wildcats defense do something? Jones to throw. To the end zone. Knocked away, and that should have been intercepted. That would have been huge for LA. That would have been their 3rd pick of the day. Big 3rd and 6 here for DC. I mean, if they kick a field goal, they've only got a 13-7 lead. That leaves the door wide open for LA. 3rd and 6, this play might just decide the game, but that was a dangerous throw from Jones. He could not do that again here. He'd be better off taking a sack. 3rd and 6, Jones again to the end zone, dropped. Excellent defense, and DC has to settle for 3. We've been seeing these defenses step up in the red zone all day long. And that again should have been an interception. Will Smith had that ball right in his hands, and he lets it go. But they at least get the stop and force DC to have to kick another field goal inside the 10. 4th and 6 from the 7, 24-yard attempt for Ty Raza. The kick is up, and it is right through, and DC now has a 13-7 lead. 7:36 to play. LA, they played an awful second half, yet they are only a touchdown away from winning this game. Very impressive, and just goes to show why the game of football is so entertaining to watch. About 7.5 minutes. LA's got plenty of time. If they have a nice long drive here, they can run off a lot of the clock and potentially get a go-ahead touchdown. This defender crowd is certainly anxious right now. Ty Raza will send it away. Larry Rose back to receive, and he'll take it from about the 3. He's got some room to run, and he'll bring it to the 25, and that's where LA will get the ball for their second drive of the half. In the first drive, they started to march it. They were looking pretty good, and just some bad penalty and just some bad throws from Johnson forced him to punt. Let's see what Josh Johnson can do to bounce back from this. He threw the interception on the first drive, then marched him down through a touchdown. Since then, he has not turned over the football, but he's not been very efficient when it comes to getting his team points again. I mean, they only have 7. This DC defense is an impressive defense, but still, it's a championship. You've got to find more ways to score. Elijah Hood has not seen as much productivity this second half. See if they give the ball back to him. On 1st and 10, Johnson with all sorts of time to throw. He'll check it down to Hood. And that's a pickup of only about 3. It's going to bring up 2nd and 7. really, it's just this DC defense that has been swallowing up this LA offense. Really, since that touchdown, they've just done an excellent job of shutting down plays right from the get-go. 2nd and 7 from the 28. LA needs a big play. They need something to get the momentum back. Johnson to throw. Across the middle, that's caught. Jordan Smallwood. Actually, Brandon Barnes. First down up to the 39. That'll help. Nice gain on the play. Pick up about 11. That's Barnes' 3rd catch of the day. 1st and 10 coming up from their own 39. So LA starting to move the football again. See what Winston Moss wants to do here offensively to continue this drive to move in a good direction. Johnson to throw again. Pressure, he's going to have to check it down. That's caught by Hood, but that goes nowhere. Loss of 2. And Josh Johnson only has 90 yards through the air. He has been shut down by this DC defense. And the interesting thing, there have been hardly any deep shots from him. I mean, he's a guy that chucks it deep very often, and DC's defense has just done such a good job of covering these guys up, not allowing him to throw the ball down the field. 2nd and 12 coming up now from the 37. Let's see what the response is from the Wildcats. I'd like to see Johnson try to find Trey McBride or Nelson Spruce, his go-to guys in this situation. Look for Spruce there, right there in the slot position. Johnson to throw. All sorts of time, he's got to get rid of it. Offensive line can't, oh my goodness. He ran right into Anthony Johnson, who sacked him back at the 26. And LA is in a really bad spot right now at 3rd and 23. Johnson making a crucial mistake. This offensive line is able to pick up Johnson, and then he runs right into him. That is tough. How about Anthony Johnson not giving up on the play? 3rd and 23. The Wildcats need a miracle here. They have not scored since the 1st quarter. Actually, they scored in the early 2nd, excuse me. 3rd and 23. They're going to play it conservative, or they're going to go. Johnson to throw. Gotta let it go. He rips it across the middle. That's complete, but not close to a 1st down. Trey McBride with the catch, but it's only a gain of 13. This DC defense has been locked down. He's able to zip it in there, but McBride just cannot break loose. I mean, there's really not much else LA could have done there. 4th and 10. You wonder, are they going to leave the offense out there from the 39, or are they going to punt it? I'm curious. They're going to punt. They're going to put all the pressure now on their defense, which has really struggled the 2nd half. Shane Trapuka will boot it away for LA. Ross back to receiving. It takes a terrible bounce. They could have pinned him. And now they're going to get at the 20. That gives Cardell Jones and company a lot of breathing room. Look at this. The first 9 carries, 13 yards. The next 9 carries, 81. Donnell Pumphrey is having himself one heck of a game in the final game of the season. Again, I highly doubt he's going to be able to get to that 1,000 yard. He's got 837 leading up to this game. He needs 163 on the day to get to 1,000 on the year. Right now he's got what, like 104? Something like that. 1st and 10. LA needs a stop so bad. Jones will throw. Pump fakes. He's going to go deep. Man wide open. It's knocked away. That defense steps up and makes a huge play. 2nd and 10. That could have been a real crusher. I think that was Eli Rogers who was unable to hang on. Second and 10 now from the 20. Donnell Pumphrey. With room to run, Donnell Pumphrey. First down to the 33. 107 yards in the day for him. He needs 56 more to get to that 1,000 yard mark. But whether or not he gets there, he's got to be proud of himself. Here in the championship, he is putting on a show. And it's really because of him and those sorts of plays that is why DC is in a great position to win this game. The only thing they can't do is turn over the football. We're getting close to the end of this game. 3:40 to play. Jones. Off play action. He's going to throw. And it's almost intercepted. My goodness. I almost jinxed him. That was Arion Springs who had a chance. 2nd and 10 now from the 33. Second and 10. Jones will throw again. Across the middle as Pumphrey turns it upfield, and he gets him another first down. He's doing it on the ground. He's doing it through the air. And Pumphrey, my goodness. He's doing it all. This DC offense has been rolling in this second half, and LA has had no answers. Pumphrey, just a nice little angle route coming out of the backfield. And he fights for that first down. And Henderson kind of gives him a first down there with that tackle. 1st and 10, we're under 3.5 minutes. DC is getting close to wrapping this thing up. Off play action, Jones wants to throw again. Deep to the sidelines, knocked away, another dangerous throw. That one was behind DeAndre Tompkins, brings up 2nd and 10. I don't understand why DC is still throwing it. I mean, earlier on in the game, it made sense because that's why Donnell Pumphrey was finally able to get things going. But right now, you've got to run it, even if it doesn't go that far. That's the second best that could have been picked on this drive alone. Jones to throw again off play action. Deep across the middle, wide open. Big first down. That's Eli Rogers. And DC is just a couple plays away from icing this game. They're at the 30. They're in field goal range. Pumphrey trying to find a lane, goes backwards. LA is out of timeouts, and this game is just a couple plays. Unbelievable. Again, a very defensive game here in Championship. 2nd and 11. Off play action, Jones to throw. Gonna go deep. Misses his man. That would have been a touchdown. That certainly would have iced things. 3rd and 11. LA needs to stop so badly because even if DC kicks a field goal, it's really too bad that we don't have 3-point conversion, but they at least have a slight chance. If they can somehow sack Cardell Jones here, that'd be incredible. 3rd and 11 from 31. This championship is very close to being over. Jones will throw. Huge blitz. Checks it down, but excellent tackling, and now DC's going to have to kick a field goal. And LA, a couple times this season, they've gotten blocks. In fact, I believe that they got a block back in Week 3 against DC when they played. It's a quick little catch, but I'm surprised with the amount of men that they brought in, Ross wasn't able to run a deeper route and get open. Fourth and 7. Ty Raza on for the kick to potentially ice this game. Closing in on 2 minutes, 13-7 lead. This 45-yard field goal is absolutely massive. Ty Raza's kick is up, and it is good. The DC defenders have a 16-7 lead with 2 minutes to play here in the championship. This offense has really put it together this second half. 13 points. What an excellent job by Pep Hamilton getting this squad. I mean, back in that first half, offensively they looked so flat. But Donnell Pumphrey came alive here in the second half. And LA, with their back up against the wall, only 2 minutes, no timeouts. A long interlude here. What a disappointing game, though, for Los Angeles. I mean, they had so much momentum in that first half. and they were just unable to get their offense going, especially in that second quarter, and then since then, they've just been completely flat. Ty Raza will finally kick it away. Larry Rose to receive. He'll take it out of the end zone. And he'll take it up to the 24. LA, they need a miracle. They need a quick touchdown, and then they need to get an onside kick, something that teams have not been able to do this entire season. Johnson coming back out, this is just not the type of game that he needed to have. 11 for 16, but only 103 yards. He threw the touchdown, but he also threw that pick. First and 10 from the 24. LA needs something big, and they need it quick. And you wonder, if they got that pick 6, would things be different right now? First and 10. Johnson to throw. Goes to the sidelines. It's a quick catch to Smallwood, but barely anything. Picks up maybe 6. Time is continuing to run. Smallwood has been shut down today. He's only got 2 catches for 18 yards. That's a guy who's got at least 50 yards receiving in pretty much every single game since week 6. Second and 4. We are closing in on a minute and a half. Johnson to throw. Has to check it down, and that's caught. Hood. First down, but it doesn't. They only get 7. Johnson's got to push down the ball down the field. We're under a minute and a half, and lots more time is going to run off. You've got to get back to that line. First and 10 from the 37. Johnson to throw. And he is going to go down. Anthony Johnson with his second sack of the day, and LA, it's just kind of summed up the day for them. DC's defense, honestly, it's just been so incredible the way they played. They shut down St. Louis to only 3 points, and now they're shutting down LA to only 7. Outstanding defensive performance from the defenders. Second and 18. Johnson to throw. Lots of time. He's got to get rid of it. He's just backing up. He's going to go down again. Tracy Sprinkle gets in there. That's his second sack. Third and 31 as DC continues to punch their ticket for the championship victory. Getting close to 30 seconds left. Again, I can't say enough about what this DC defense has done today. Get their team in a position to take it all. Third and 31. This is it. Johnson. Intercepted! Picked off. That's Shamarko Thomas with the interception. LA opened the game with an interception, and they will close the game with an interception. This DC defense came to play today. Thomas with the diving interception here to seal the deal, looking for Jordan Smallwood. My goodness, look at the way he gets those feet down. Johnson, that's his second pick of the day. I mean, it's really just incredible. And Jones, he threw 2 picks as well. But at the end of the day, he was the more consistent quarterback. It really just sums up these two teams. 2 good defenses and 2 quarterbacks that are very inconsistent. But it was DC who was able to get going. And the interesting thing, LA dominated that first half because Elijah Hood was running the ball fantastic. This second half, he's done practically nothing. DC, on the other hand, first half, they couldn't do anything with their run game. The second half, they've been electrifying, and that's what happened. That changed the momentum, and DC is ready to win. Cardell Jones will take a knee, and that'll probably do it here from DC for the XFL Championship. What a game, what a defensive performance. Really lots of excellent defense on both sides of the football, but especially the DC defenders, as Jones does not have to take another snap. And he won't. And that'll do it. The XFL simulated season is finally over. The LA Wildcats drop the final game to the DC defenders 16-7. DC with a huge win at home, and what a game they had. What a run they had. 2-3 halfway through the season. They win 3 in a row, clinched the playoffs, and then in the playoffs, really, they blew out St. Louis, and then they dominated Los Angeles. What a day for the DC Defenders. They win the first XFL Simulator Championship, most likely the last, because we're going to be moving on to some other things. What a catch from Tompkins there, and it was a good game. Defensive showdown. here in DC. Johnson just really struggled there. He only had really one good drive. And that'll do it for us here on the XFL Simulator. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching if you've been following along throughout the season. It's been a lot of fun doing this. But don't worry, we're not leaving. We do not plan on doing a second XFL Simulated season. Instead, we're going to be moving on to the Alliance of American Football. Modification is almost done. There's a team putting together a mod for the Alliance of American Football. We're going to be simulating that season whenever we get the chance. It might not be for a couple months, who knows, but when we get the chance, we are going to simulate that season because the Alliance, very similar to the XFL, their season got cut short. We never got to see them again. The thing is, we're going to see the XFL again. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Danny Garcia, and all those people bought it, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there, but this is the last official XFL Simulated game. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. The DC Defenders are XFL Simulated champions. Who did you think was going to win the XFL Simulated Championship? Let us know down below. Let us know who you root for in the XFL and what you're excited to see coming up. Thanks for tuning in. I'm James Larson. See you next time.